Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and today is Tea and a Book. I already let this get cold, but it's pretty good. So what am I drinking today? I am drinking Pippi Oolong Stocking. And obviously, I mostly bought it for the canister, which is so cute with Pippi Longstocking. But also, I love citrus and orange in tea. So this one is oolong tea, orange peel, and natural flavor. Moderate caffeine, and it's from novelteatins.com. But I believe I got this at the Pure Imagination Cafe in Gates or Chilai or something, not too far from my house. So it's really good. Love it. I should have steeped this one a little bit longer, and I also should have drank it while it's still warm, but I like it either way. All right, so I want to tell you about the last box that I got from Sips By, and it actually might be a month old because I didn't do one of these last month, and I might have put my subscription for Sips By on hold just so that I could catch up on some of the tea that I already have. So these aren't new or seasonal to right now, but I believe that lots of their teas they do year round, so there are some things that you can tell are pretty seasonal, like pumpkin flavors and things like that, but lots of their things are available most of the time because it's tea, right? So the book I want to talk about is actually called Spontaneous by Aaron Starmer, and I saw the movie adaptation last week, and so I read the book first because I hate to see a movie first and then read the book. That never works out for me. So I want to tell you about that. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Stick around for it. So let's start with the tea. Sips By is a monthly subscription. I don't know if they have changes in frequency or not. I am not a subscriber. I just have a subscription, and I try and share with you guys the tea that I get. So it always comes with a little pouch of tea bags. And this one is a reusable tea bag. I have used the reusable tea bag. I never reuse it. I'm a horrible person for the weather, climatologist. But I have also used the reusable ones for cold brew for coffee. Okay, so I'm filming this on October 21st, I think, and these were my September teas according to the cheat sheet. So what did I get? I got Teach Me First for Education. This is a real leaf tea, black tea. Oh, an Assam exotic. So I'm trying to figure out, I think Vadam Teas is the brand. I got 4 sachets of this, or 4 packs of this. I assume they're in sachets and not loose. Let's see, Assam Exotic. 1 sachet per 7 ounces of water, high caffeine, a mellow yet intensely flavorful Assam black tea blend with sweet malty flavors. So that's going to be great with this new tea sugar that I just got that has honey and lavender in it. I'm not sure how I'm going to like that. It was in a sample pack from Milk Street, I think was the name of it. So I got a sample pack of coffee sugars, and it came with a tea sugar sample as well. So I think this will be a great tea for that because it's a plain black tea, no flavors. I'll really be able to tell what the tea sugar tastes like. And then I've already used 2 of these. It came with 4 of these. These are the White Peach from Davidson's Organic Teas. Low caffeine, of course, because it's white peach. The organic white tea in this blend is sourced from family tea farms in India. Peach essence makes this tea perfect for enjoying iced or hot in the summertime. So I love the flavor of peach. It's my favorite fruit flavor. Is that true? Yep. Along with mango and watermelon. And so I've already drank 2 of those. All right. Did I already drink the other thing as well? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, the third tea is Tiny Bee Tea Rose Apricot Nectar. That is from Tiny Bee Tea. Contains caffeine. Apricot and rose oolong blend and is pollinated with our specialized tiny bee powers. Delicious floral notes blend with the tart sweetness of apricots for a taste that will leave you buzzing. And the package is really cute. So, supposedly, there's a 4th tea. And look, I thrifted a new teacup. I like the shape. It's different from any of the other teacups that I have. So the one I'm not seeing is the Awake. High caffeine. Get a healthy caffeine boost to start your day. Awake is sure to become your favorite breakfast blend with pieces of orange and black tea. I bet I drank it already. The taste is mildly citrusy. So either I drank it or I took those out to put in my drink these now piles. So those were my September teas. Like I said, I've already had 2 of the white peach, which I really like. I'm excited to use the Assam black tea with the tea sugar that I got. And this is the cutest little thing I've ever seen. All right, so let me tell you about Spontaneous. Spontaneous is a young adult novel by Erin Starmer. And it's about a girl who is 17 years old. She's a senior in high school. And one day, the book opens with, one day they're sitting in pre-calc or one of those horrible classes seniors have to take, and the girl 2 seats in front of her explodes. So the context of the story is throughout the senior year, several seniors start to spontaneously explode, and nobody knows why. And during that time, she meets a boy who has a reputation in the school as being kind of a bad boy and mysterious and all that kind of stuff. He's kind of been picked on, but mostly left alone because everybody thinks he's kind of crazy. And there are all these kind of like background stories about him and stuff. And in the book, she also has this really strong relationship with her best friend Tess, who comes over to the house a lot. And, you know, they're just great pals, buddies, whatever. And when people start exploding, Mara, who's our main character, who is already kind of a dabbler in recreational substance use, starts to use more and more and really disconnects after several of the teens have exploded, and she's been there, and lots of survival guilt and all those kinds of things. I liked the story. There were some things, you know, about maybe it was the pacing, or maybe some sections of the book weren't as, I don't know. Her characterization was also like, if you were to read it, you would assume a man had written her. She is a teen girl, and yet she felt very masculine, very typically masculine. I know gender is a social construct, y'all, whatever. Girls can be who girls can be. And she felt written by a man. But what I loved about her and about the book is this relationship between her and her best friend, and how she is with her other friends. They're affectionate, they love each other, they have big plans. You know, it's one of those kind of relationships she has with Tessie where, you know, if we're not married by the end of our lives, actually don't even say that, you know, at the end of our lives, we're gonna move in together and live happily ever after. Like that's their dream. And when all of these things start happening, they really take different approaches to coping with what's going on. So that was the book. I would say it's a strong 3 stars, maybe a wobbly 3.5, 4 stars, depending, because I think it is great. it was a thought-provoking book. There are pieces in it, you know, how the government gets involved, all those kinds of things that I thought were also really interesting. So last year, 2020, when the world shut down, the movie adaptation came out. And locally, we have a playhouse here who has a series called Lost Year, #LostYear. And they are showing movies that we really didn't get to see in 2020 that came out because of the shutdown. So last week, the movie they showed was Spontaneous, and there was a Q&A with the author of the book, Aaron Starmer, and the screenwriter slash director slash producer, Brian Duffield. So Brian Duffield is the one who was the screenwriter for the second Divergent movie. So he's done some screenwriting stuff, but this was his debut directorial effort. So we had a Q&A with him afterwards, and because the organizers know that I'm into YA and also interested in genre film, they asked me if I would moderate the Q&A. So that was a really cool experience to get to do. So the movie adaptation, we still have Mara, of course. We still have Tessie, who's the best friend, but their relationship feels less explored, I guess. You know, you have to sacrifice some things. And the movie felt much more like a romantic comedy, which was fine. There's nothing wrong with that. A romantic comedy with the background of these exploding teenagers. Whereas the book felt a little bit more, not coming of age, but a little bit more YA contemporary. There was still the romance that was happening with the boy, although in the movie, he is less of a mysterious person, or the reason why he's more mysterious is because he hasn't lived there as long, and they know him, but they don't really talk to him. And the reason why he starts talking to Mara is because he's you know, people are dying and they don't know why, and he's had a crush on her this whole time. And there's a really sweet montage where he's telling her all of these times he's noticed her and knew that he was starting to have feelings for her. So that was pretty cool. You know, one of the interesting things during the Q&A, because of course we talked about what's hard about having a book turned into a movie and all that stuff. And Brian talked about how he sent his first draft to Aaron Starmer to get feedback, and there were things that Aaron was like, you're trying to hold on too much to the story, to the original story. You need to change some things that's not serving you. So there were some things that were left out, like this relationship with Tessie. It was still implied as very strong. They still showed some of the affection, but it wasn't as prominent in the film. They don't necessarily talk as much about that government involvement that I was really curious about, or that I really found interesting in the book. And there's some other kind of like characterizational aspects that are lost in the film as well, because you don't get that background and you don't get as much of that internal monologue that's happening. Although there is also some of that happens in the film where Mara, I think Mara, does she narrate part of it, or she's kind of giving you a little bit of that. And they break the fourth wall a couple of times, you know. So it's a fun film. If I were to rate it on the usual 5-point scale, which I did, of course, because I use Letterboxd to rate films and I use Goodreads to rate books, I think I also gave it a 3 stars, though it doesn't feel like the same 3 stars. Like the strengths of the book aren't the strengths of the movie, and vice versa. It's the same story, absolutely. You certainly don't see a lot of different stories about exploding teenagers. But I don't know. I would say 3 stars. And probably because I wasn't overly drawn to the book anyway, you know, 3.5 stars. The changes weren't too bad. I'm trying to think. There was one particular thing about the book. Oh, one thing about Mara. So this is a huge difference in my opinion. Other people won't think it's that big of a deal, I'm sure. In the book, Mara is the only one who has seen as many of the kids explode as she has. She was there. She's been present for every single explosion that we've heard about, with her eyeballs involved. In the movie, she's present, but she's looking away, or she's looking down, or she's picking something up. So it's almost coincidental that she's there. So what feels special about Mara and to other people sometimes is that they experience, when they experience an explosion that happens, it's their first time, and Mara's getting to be a veteran. You know, so her experience of the phenomena is very different than other people's, because she was already, you know, she's the heroine of the book. So, and she's the sort of jaded, disillusioned, you know, teen girl main character. Zero fucks to give, you know. And so then she becomes a little bit more that way, but then there comes a point in this phenomenon where she kind of tips over the edge, and she's drinking all the time. She's staying out. Her parents are worried about, you know, all of that sort of stuff. I love the parents in the book. Her parents in the book, also affectionate, lovely, loving parents. I hate YA books where, you know, they use parent disconnection as the reason for a personality change or whatever. Like, that's just an annoying thing to me. I love the parents in the movie and how they were really trying to give her space, but also were so scared of losing their kid. I think that both Brian and Aaron did such a good job of balancing what could be just a heart-wrenching experience. I mean, think about, you know, nobody knows anything about what's happening, and people are exploding, which is kind of a big deal. In the book, nobody will be around these kids. So they're seniors and nobody knows when they're going to explode, and they also don't know why. So are they bombs? Are they doing it on purpose? Like, what's going on? In the book, they hint at the fear, and there's a scene where Mara and Tess are in a diner and nobody will serve them. So you see the inklings of that, but the experience of it is explored much better in the book because you've got more time, and it's less about this sort of like relationship that's happening between Mara and this boy whose name I've already forgotten, which you may have seen him in other things. I never have. The main character, Mara, is played by Catherine something, who was also in 13 Reasons Why, I believe. So, anyway, I wanted to tell you about that and the experience. It was pretty cool to get to kind of facilitate the Q&A. We had some pretty good questions. You know, people really appreciated how authentic the set looked and all of those things, because these are supposed to be teenagers in not the distant past. So one of them, I think Aaron or Brian, or one of them, talked about how Catherine, the actress, brought different things from home, or that she found at the store, whatever, that she thought really really fit her character, and they put that in the bedroom that Mara has on set and all of that. So that was kind of cool. One of them was a crocheted vagina, so that does seem to fit her character really great. Okay, so what I'm reading now is something about All Girls Are Gone, No Girls Are Gone, The Girls Are Never Gone, or something like that. It's a haunted house story, great for spooky times. So I'm enjoying that. I'm about halfway through, and so I'll tell you about it when I'm done. Drop a note on what you're reading, and I will catch you on the next one.